Welcome back to our Bunch of Losers MasterChef Generations recap. This week, I'm no shirt for Murt. No, it's because I just woke up. I just brewed some coffee. I watched MasterChef last night for you guys last week, and we are here to talk about it. So let's do it. Let's talk about it. We are in the first episode where all the generations are competing against each other. The white aprons have been had. There is a top 20. And after last week's episode, we are down to a top 19. First mystery box challenge. It's wild. I feel like the early seasons, we got 2 challenges in one episode. Maybe that comes later. I'm a little fuzzy. First mystery box challenge. Gosh, I can't tell you how the anticipation builds. You really don't know what's under that box. You are super nervous. You're trying to think about what you could be making in the next 10 minutes. Anyway, we'll get to it quick. They lift their boxes and it's a bunch of different photos of them as children. Gen Z, the photo is on a phone. Millennials, the phone is on a digital camera, and then Gen X, regular photo, and then boomers, it's a black and white photo. It's funny, it's cheeky, it's cute, and it starts off our mystery box of elevating a childhood memory of a dish. I love this. I wish I could have done this challenge. Although I have quite a few, so I don't know which way I would have gone with this, but we had some really, really cool dishes, and we are going to talk about those. But first, real quick, the elimination pin. This is new in the last few seasons, and this time, if you win the elimination pin, you also save your entire generation. I wonder if this is going to come into play. Let's see. Okay. The other thing about this episode is we're going to have a top 4, one from each generation. Now, after watching this, I came to the realization that this kind of is a bummer if you got 2 people in Gen Z that had outstanding, amazing dishes, but only one goes up, and then someone from, let's say, Gen X has a middle-of-the-road dish, but it's the best of Gen X. They get to make it to the top. I call flaw there. I'm not crazy about this format. Hopefully, it irons itself out, and Gordon makes some on-the-fly decisions to have multiple people from the same generation make it up. That's just my personal opinion watching as a viewer. Okay, so the top 20 enter. Top 20 enter. Man, it's kind of funny how you can see how slow the boomers are. Getting old. There's no getting around it. We can delay it as long as we want. There are diets. There's science and medicine. But we still haven't found the fountain of youth. And it's coming for all of us. Anyway, it is a good laugh. Those stairs are tricky, and the boomers are last into the kitchen. So let's jump forward. They get started. My eyes are already focusing on Becca and Rebecca. These two, I think there's a battle of the generations here in and of itself, and we have a long journey with these two. Most importantly, Becca from Gen Z is first out the pantry, and I've learned this is important. First out the pantry usually means the person already has a grasp on what they're making, and also is paying attention in the pantry, is understanding that there is an organization to it. And when you have your idea developed and you know exactly what you're getting, what you're making, you can move through this pantry quick. And it's also someone on the smaller side of height, size. We tend to get through there a little quicker. Watch yourself, short king here. Okay, then let's talk about dishes. We're straight since Becca is out the gate first. We get to her first. She is doing an elevated stroganoff with a braised short rib. She's using a pressure cooker, and I'm actually surprised. I think I saw 3 pressure cookers come out. First challenge, people using pressure cookers. That's big time. That's advantageous. Is that the word? I don't know. I think so. I mean, I did use a pressure cooker, but I kind of waited till the finale. So out the gate, that's quite of a lot. Becca, I love the idea of this dish. I hate that we didn't get to see it. I feel for you. I know what it's like to feel like you have one of the top dishes in the episode and it gets skimmed over, looked over, doesn't make camera. It happens to the best of us. And I say that with emphasis on the best. I think that they're saving you for a little bit later here. I think you may have come out the gate strong, but you can back it up. I said this from your apron dish. If you can back up what you did and you are as strong as I think you are, you're going far. Next, Murt. Oh, Murt. Murt is playing with mangoes because it's something he remembers from his childhood. But Murt, that's just an ingredient. That's not a dish. And I don't know, I'm judging a book by its cover here. I don't really see you as a kid eating curry over rice, but maybe I'm just speculating. Murt's doing a chicken mango curry over green tea rice. You know, I kind of like the idea of this dish because I do like, you know, when I see a dish where it's like you have your curry and then a mango chutney, it's like you're going to eat them together. So why can't we infuse those flavors? I get the idea. I like where your head's at. Green tea rice also think is very cool, but you lacked confidence talking about it. And you kind of blamed the rice on TikTok. Like you delivered it like, well, I saw this thing on TikTok and so I went for it. You have to like, chef, us Gen Zers, everything is on TikTok. That is our encyclopedia. I saw this really great chef doing, you know, green tea rice and I fell in love with it. And I couldn't wait to make it for you. That's changing my thought process on how I'm going to taste this dish. Confidence, man. You have it all the way up till you get to the podium. So, I don't know. Is your confidence insecurity? We will find out. Next, Sunshine. She's doing a lamb shank. She's got a pressure cooker. She's 20 minutes in, and that lamb shank is not in the pressure cooker. Let me tell you, anything that's going in a pressure cooker in the MasterChef Kitchen needs about 40 minutes. She's also doing it over mashed potatoes. I see like 3 people whipping mashed potatoes. We're only on episode 5 and I'm so sick of mashed potatoes and I'm so sick of seeing rice in ring molds. And you can see at this point in the episode, everyone is sweating. It's kind of funny. Moving over to Rebecca. Like I said, my eyes are on Becca and Rebecca this episode. Rebecca is elevating meatloaf. This is a fantastic perspective and point of view for the boomer generation. Meatloaf. They put everything in a square pan and baked it in the oven, from jello to meatloaf, bread, puddings. There wasn't a lot to work with, I guess. Anyway, she is elevating this with a blackberry hoisin, some bok choy, and some seasoned potatoes, and it sounds delicious. I just like her energy. She's rocking. Okay, and we're gonna come back to Rebecca. Remember I said this. She's rocking. I have a major compliment I'm gonna dish out to her, but let me get to the end of this. Adam Hart. It's really still funny. I have a really good friend named Adam Hart, and it's so funny to see this kid. You're a heartthrob, dude. Coming out with dessert, it's honestly giving LA vibes. A peach hand pie with a lemon basil curd, goat cheese whip, candied basil leaves. I freaking love this dish. Sounds like something I would do. And you're coming out with dessert when everyone's going savory. Also something I did. But when I did it, I fucked up and I almost went home. There is a gamble in that. But dude, Adam Hart, you're going to be breaking hearts, kid. I hope you're ready. I love how humble you are. I love how calm you are. I love how clean your station is. These are all really great signs. Keep up the good work, dude. Next, we move on to Daniela. You know, the one that just got a ring put on it. Maybe you should start making wedding plans because we are worried about this smoky stuffed cabbage roll. This dish needs a long time. I think the only way you're getting this on the plate is by deconstructing it, and that is not a good sign. Cut to Fatima burning plantains, and then quickly over to Kameh, a Haitian chicken with a kidney bean sauce. She's smart, talks precise, gets the judges in and out. You have to do this in the MasterChef Kitchen. You have to learn how to cook and talk and get them on their way. If they're not getting their answer, they will talk to you longer, and that slows down your cooking. Skipping back to Geags, shepherd's pie. That's daring. If you know Gordon Ramsay, this is one of his favorite things to eat. He says he's elevating it. I've seen nothing elevated on this workstation at all. In fact, I see the complete opposite. Corn, beef, and potatoes. What is elevated? I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of C, skip to C. He's elevating Vietnamese soup with lobster, a broth, rice, some other components. I'm excited for this. C has been my favorite from the get, and looking forward to seeing the judge on this. You can absolutely see at this point in the episode the separation of talent. It's insane. There are extremely good cooks, and then there are people that are just in the grave. I made notes here. Geags, shepherd's pie doesn't look like it's going in the broiler. No color on the potatoes. It seems like we're doing a little recap. Every generation wants to get rid of a millennial first. Why? Why are we so headstrong on getting rid of the millennials? Oh, we're the best. And then Murt, your confidence is flying too close to the sun in the MC kitchen, bud. I was saying to myself, when I saw you talking, it was just like, you better be careful, dude, because the MasterChef Kitchen will humble you quick. I know. I got judged on my confidence a little bit too, but my confidence was coming from a place of knowing I could back it up. You're coming off more cocky than confident. I know you don't get to control the edit, dude, but I've also gone and watched your videos on Instagram. We got to talk about this. Let me just give you some advice from your future self, because I know who you are. I get it. Let's have a chat. Because I don't know, man. Unless you change real quick, you ain't making it. So here we are. We've seen the whole thing go down. We've seen everyone cook. And we're ready for judgment. Now, this is a new thing that has happened in the last few years in MasterChef. The judges walk around after time's up and they taste components of your dishes and ask you questions with a straight face, like stone cold straight face. It's the most nerve-wracking, scary thing you could ever imagine. It's the longest 5-10 minutes in the MasterChef Kitchen. And honestly, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I also love, while this is happening and everyone's freaking out, Murt is narrating the whole segment, and it's just totally setting him up for a big piece of humble pie. Also, let's go back. Okay, like I said, I got to talk about Rebecca. I talked mad shit about Rebecca's plating. I think I said something along the lines in her apron challenge that she plated her dish like a prison guard, like a cook at the state prison, something like that. Full turnaround, full 180. This dish is stunning. Hands down the best meatloaf I've ever seen. She's totally just showing that she has the experience in the kitchen, and I'm here for it. I'm Team Rebecca right now. I'm full on Team Rebecca. Okay, here's another thing. Do not lie to the judges. Do not try to manipulate how they feel about your dish. They come up to Geags and they say, "Are you happy with how your dish turned out?" And he says he was. And then he explains that he didn't get to brown the potatoes. And the judges see this. Don't lie to them. Geags, you're not happy with it. We're not happy with it. The judges aren't happy with it. You better pray, my friend, because this, no bueno. Judges go back to the podium and they are ready to call up our first person in the top. Again, this season, top 4. First up, Kamei. Yep, a millennial called up first. I want to point out, I know I've talked a lot of shit about the rice in the rice molds. What Kamei did here is the correct application of the rice mold. She made it nice and she used it to prop up her chicken, so the chicken, the crispy chicken, isn't sitting in the sauce. Thank you, Kamei. So far, the only one that's used it properly. Good job. She got fantastic remarks in the top. Let me talk about her sauce real quick. I'm gonna try this sauce tonight on a different kind of dish. I love this idea of blending, straining, and then simmering the red beans to create a sauce. I'm so excited about it. I'm gonna do this with a swordfish tonight. I'll let you know how it goes. Next up to the top, yeah, you guessed it, your boy Adam Hart. Again, this dish, in my opinion, is the best of the night. It is my favorite. It's plated with finesse. You can see as Gordon cuts into it, the pastry is cooked perfectly. The lemon basil and the goat cheese whipped cream, he's wise beyond his years. Yo, you put a target on your back with this one, Adam, but I think people are underestimating you because you are just so humble. I'm getting Dara vibes from you, and I hope you take that as a compliment, as she was the all-star winner. You cook like her. You're clean, you're smart with your flavors, humble. I love it, dude. Keep it up. Next in the top, Gen X Sunshine. I'm surprised. Like I said earlier, you know, I'm sure there was a better Gen Z dish that could have been up in the top, but we needed someone from Gen X, and Gen X didn't really perform well in this challenge. I think the pressure really got to them. But Sunshine, you got lucky with the lamb. It does look good. It does look rustic. Is elevating it because it's a lamb shank and not something else. I don't know. I wouldn't say elevated, but it is plated nicely. It does look like the whipped potatoes came out good, but I hope everyone there can make great whipped potatoes or you shouldn't be there. I think you were in the top due to circumstances. No shade, but I know there was better dishes out there. And then lastly, to the top, from the boomer generation, Rebecca. Team Rebecca. She deserves to be up there in every single way. This meatloaf is fantastic. As the chefs are diving into it, just top remarks all along. I like her style. I'm actually getting, let me put this in a Gen Z term. She's giving Nancy Silverton, and it's amazing. And if you know who that is, we love Nancy Silverton. The judges. In the top, number 1, congratulations goes to Rebecca. Boomers out the gate strong. Was not ready for this. And Geags, you are the luckiest person in the MasterChef Kitchen right now, because if it wasn't for Rebecca, you were going home, bud. That shepherd's pie looked like a sheep's dump, and we are not Here for it. Okay, well, that's the top taken care of. Let's talk about the bottom, because this podcast is a bunch of losers. So let's talk about the losers. First in the bottom, Murt. I never know. You know, if you'd have told me 10 years ago you're gonna say Murt 25 times in an hour, I would have laughed, because I don't even know. I would be like, how? Well, this is how. Murt, you showed up. You've been confident. You're the talk of the town, for better or worse. I wish we could have just served you a piece of Adam's pie and humbled you real quick. You're in the bottom, and it's sweet. Joe called it spicy baby food. That hurts. That's the last thing I want to have anyone say about something I've made. I really hope you took this criticism from the judges and turn it around next week and bounce back. I will say, you did take that criticism well. You just said, yes, chef, I understand, and you took it on the chin. First time I've seen you be humble, and we need more of that, because you've got the confidence. Now bottle that confidence up and keep it inside, and you will be standing next to Adam Hart next time. The next one called up is the biggest shocker to me. C is called up for his soup. It seems like a very deconstructed soup. It's got like some fine dining elements where you pour the broth over all the deconstructed components. I love the idea. I really do. When I saw a clip of this happening in the promo, and I was like, ooh, I wonder if that's a top or bottom dish, because it looks good. The idea is there. I think Aron said it best. You had a lot of great ideas that just didn't come together. What a bummer. I'd love to chat with you about this broth, because Gordon did say it was fantastic, and I want to know more about this soup, but I just can't believe you're in the bottom. Major bummer. And then lastly, Daniela. Wow. From such an amazing audition apron get to being in the bottom in the first episode. I mean, look, there's got to be 3 in the bottom, and this stuffed cabbage roll really looks like a bottom dish. It was just ambitious. This is where you're cooking from something you know, and you don't have another idea, and you know that this dish is not going to get done in the amount of time. You're not going to be able to give it the amount of time it needs, and you're forcing it. I've been there too. I've done it. It's not fun. You're in the moment. Maybe you didn't sleep well the night before. The call time was super early for top 20. I know that. You've been on, before you even cooked this, you've been on set for 5 hours, and you've had a million ideas run through your head, and now you're blank on this cabbage roll, and you got lucky. By the skin of your teeth, the filling was fantastic, and you can tell, you can see it in her food. She has developed flavor. She knows how to do that, and they're keeping her around for that, because the big shocker out the gate of the bottom 3, Murt, C, and Daniela, C is going home. Can't believe it. I can't believe it. I was calling C to go the distance in my first recap. And see, I saw you send me the little side eyes in my DMs, and I was like, bro, you better be fucking with me, because I wanted to see more. And you're right, I think you had so much more to show, and I can't believe you're out the gate so early. Came out the gate so strong so early, and then going home so early. Sad to see you go, but we're gonna have to chat it up on the podcast now. Behind the scenes real quick, I'm interviewing him Friday, so hopefully we'll get it out in the next couple weeks. Keep cooking, my friend. You have a lot to offer, and I'm here for you. Any advice you need with private chefing, pop-ups, you name it, or even if you're just struggling with imposter syndrome, you can give me a call anytime, dude. I know what it's like. I can help you through it. And all right, look, if you enjoyed this podcast, if you enjoyed this recap, and you can't wait to see more of these losers, like, subscribe, share. Also, any questions that you wish I would have asked, put them in the comments. I'll get them in. I'll make sure we ask these guys, and I'd love your participation. Anyway, thanks a lot, losers. We'll see you next time.